Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. All right, so I'm going to be doing a BlueRay reading. This is a BlueRay update. The frequency is increasing, okay? That's a very specific type of that's a very specific type of statement, type of situation. BlueRays are so sensitive to frequency, okay? Frequency can be used to not just activate you, but to also affect your moods, affect whatever process you're in. It just has such a very real, very tangible effect on a BlueRay, okay? Now, if you haven't already heard, if you don't know what a BlueRay is, you're trying to figure out what in the world is this girl talking about now? BlueRays are basically part of what type of etheric coding was kind of commingled with the human code, human etheric code. You could go so far as to say that it is the very frequency, energy that was used to hybridize with the human, the terrestrial beings. We're now the modern human, and I don't really want to get into that topic. I'm sorry. I don't know why Michael was having me explain that to you. Anyways, BlueRays, there's two types in general terms. Okay, we're going to speak in general terms. There's the smaller group, which they have a majority of their coding intact. They have minimal amounts of distorted code. They have about 80% of their code intact. And then there's the fallen lineages, which is the majority of the BlueRays. These have, this side of the family tree has quite a bit more distortions within their code, okay? So it doesn't matter which one you're from. Frequency is increasing. An increase in frequency leads to activation. What exactly is being activated? I'm not too sure. I'm going to be honest, I'm not too sure. I'm starting to get very tense. I don't know what this reading is going to be about, but it's creating tension within me. So I find that very interesting. With the tension that's increasing, it's really a sense of like, connectivity. With that connectivity, okay, I'm finding myself wanting to edit the message. It's going to tap into subject matter that really can become very, very frustrating for me very quickly. So for certain types of BlueRays, there is this bonded pair that exists, okay? This bonded pair, for the ones that are, whose coding is still intact, they have specific jobs to accomplish in this lifetime. And these specific jobs require, at some point, either temporary or permanent merger, okay? It's this feeling that merger is being initiated. That's it. Okay. Do you guys follow the Schumann resonance? The rate at which the world, like Earth's vibrational frequency, whatever the heck it is. The Schumann resonance has been increasing. Okay, my son randomly tells me earlier today, oh, it's spiked and it's maintaining the spike. It's not dropping back down. I'm like, so that maintained spike, it has a lot to do with what's going on, okay? When these pairings, these divine bonded pairs begin the process of merger, it's not just going to be one pair doing this. It's going to be at least a handful, at the very least a handful, okay? When they begin doing this merger type thing, it's not because they're in a relationship. Do you guys hear that? It's like hailing. Obviously, the feminine is rising in frequency. Oh my God. Wait. No, I don't want to. Hold on. I wasn't done shuffling. I was just trying to hurry up and get out of the message. Sorry, guys. Okay. When the pairings begin to come together, when the bonded pair begins to do this merger thing, and again, most of them won't know that they're experiencing some sort of merger, the frequency on this earth plane will spike. That's because it's like when you're taking two elements and putting them in a hadron collider and whoosh, slamming them together, you then stand the very real possibility of creating a new element. In order for that new element to exist, there has to be a major energetic event. It's either a release of energy or something else, like an explosion or implosion, fission, fusion, you know, or you don't know. But that's what's going on right now. So, what do we need to know as BlueRays? Because I'm going to be damned if I let this just be some sort of twin ray reading. We did that this morning. We don't need to do that again. I'm trying to find the deck that was in my mind. Where the heck is it? Here it is. All right. Ooh, lots of messages about core type messages. Core. Shit. All right. So this is BlueRays, there's something that's been watching. It's been really watching. It's very addicted to your light, to your energy, okay? From my experience as a very sensitive empath, anything that has to hide behind things in order to view you is not good. It's not good. If you think that this message is about, oh, my twin flame and my twin ray and blah, 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 and they're watching me. Either you've misidentified the individual, they're not your twin, or you've been bamboozled, like just full on bamboozled. From what I know, whenever I detect some sort of twin type energy viewing me, they're not hiding. They're just like, I hope she don't notice. I hope she don't notice. And I'm just like, oh, no, didn't see nothing. Didn't hear nothing. Didn't feel nothing. I don't notice. Don't worry. I'm not looking. Okay. The fact that he's hiding, that's not a good feeling. That's really not a good feeling. The only things that tend to hide are things that don't want to be seen because they have malicious intent, or they're hunting you. I don't like either one. I definitely don't like either one. Like, no. So here's the thing. They're watching you and you're kind of pulled into yourself. You've pulled yourself back into yourself. And I don't know if it's like you're hiding. I don't feel like you're hiding. I feel like you're kind of just going through. Sorry, my hair is pulling my neck. I don't like this feeling. Hold on, guys. Just shove my hair in here. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling. Okay. So it's almost like you've kind of re-entered a womb of sorts. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like you're pulling yourself back into yourself in order to prepare for a rebirthing. So there's a potentiality you're not even paying attention to what's going on. Okay, there's a real potentiality for that. I really don't like where this is going. Honestly, now I would kind of rather talk about twin flames. Oh shit. Here's the thing. This is what makes me very uncomfortable. So you're over here kind of just lost in your own process, and swirling around you is some sort of like, I don't fucking know, but it's shadowy. I mean, is it your shadow work coming out? Is it parts of this energy kind of wafting around you at this point? I mean, there's so many different potentialities for this, right? Until I accidentally pulled too many cards and this popped up. Like, y'all, he got a sword. He coming at you like a ring wraith. I mean, I don't like how this feels. I really, I was just finna say that, like, what do you do when you feel wrapped in something? Well, I'm finna say that maybe that's your wings. You know what I'm saying? So you come equipped with wings. All human beings have some differing level of concentration of BlueRay code. The higher the concentration of BlueRay code, the higher your hybridization is. So what that means is if you have a high enough concentration of BlueRay coding, you probably already have wings that have sprouted or are preparing to sprout. Okay? These are etheric wings. You know, they're I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's human beings with physiological wings. I mean, there's human beings with physiological tails, you know? I just never met one. So here's the thing. These etheric wings can do two things aside from flying. One, if you wrap them around you, they can serve as a shield. Just wrap them up tight. They can serve as a shield. They can hide you. Whoever you wrap it around, you can hide them. You can help to heal them, create a healing sacred space. And then secondly, as part of the protective, if your coding is high enough, which is really not that high, but if it's high enough, if it's a certain point, the material that composes the exterior of your wing, like for many, they're feathers. These feathers have a cutting edge. You know, they have a cutting edge. Thwack your wing out, like, fuck you, your wing. They're out. For real, they're out. Is your intent to harm, hurt? No. You're out. You do not get to stay in my space. By virtue of my sovereign authority, you don't get to stay. Out. You're out. Okay? So just keep that in mind, all right? There's something approaching, though. Is it upside down? It's upside down. This is like a really yucky. It's really, really yucky. I don't know if this is like a false twin type thing. There's some of that orange popping up, some of that burnt yellowish color. I'd say this is a combination of the three lower chakras, root, sacral, and solar plexus. This is something that's probably feeding off of all three, okay? Or attempting to feed off of all three. It's going to hide the ways in which it's going to attempt to breach. Now, this might be why you're all balled up to begin with. You might already be experiencing some level of knowing that there's something going on. There's just something going on. Stop dimming yourself just to make it easier for people to tolerate you. You shouldn't have to only be tolerated. You should be celebrated, if not just accepted. Okay? Stop selling yourself short. You are not bargain basement. Release that draconian teaching. They spread that teaching around for people like you. Now, my goal for this channel is not to have a huge following. My goal for this channel is to be as present as possible for those who are ready to hear, those who are willing to see. That's not going to be everybody. Because if everybody was there, I wouldn't need to be here in this life. No fucking joke. No fucking joke. So I have a very real understanding of that, and part of what my purpose is. You don't have to dim yourself. That was never what you came into this life to do. You've never existed within a box. That's why people are uncomfortable with you. That's why people tend to think you're messy, you're chaotic, you're all over the place. Excuse you, I am multidimensional. Okay. Just because your linear ass cannot understand my quantum self means diddly squat. We're both human right now. I deserve to exist just as much as you. And you need to begin really, really taking in that logic. Really, really taking it in. Card number 22, she feels. She knows. You already feel what's going on. You already know what's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot. And it's becoming harder and harder for you to reconcile your differences between yourself and your soul. Oh my God, my sled is going to get blown away. Hold up. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh my God. Daddy, the wind, it's blowing. It's going to blow all our shredders away. Okay, bye. That was so dramatic. Daddy, the wind. Okay, no, for real. I'm hearing windows starting to shake. Okay, so you already know, you already feel. It's time for you to allow yourself to just really exist as you are. Be who you are, okay? If they can't accept you as you are, that means they're not ready to travel with you. That's okay. They'll get to wherever they need to go when they're supposed to be there. When they're supposed to arrive, they will. That has nothing to do with you anymore. Now it's time for you to begin seeing the truth of who you are. If you think there's tea to spill, I mean, I don't know, maybe you're dehydrated. I tend to not care about tea spilling if I've already drank it all. It's the truth. It's the truth. I only worry about tea being spilled if I'm taking my time and just letting it sit. I mean, you know, stale tea is just not yummy. It's not. You could have iced tea. You could have hot tea. If it's fresh, it's good. If it's stale, it's just kind of like, I just need fluid. I just need fluid. Are you becoming so comfortable in your stagnancy that it doesn't matter if it's stale or not? You deserve fresh. You deserve very, very fresh, freshly cooked, freshly prepared, freshly plated, beautifully presented in front of you. You deserve that. You deserve that. That's not just for celebration time. Every single day of your life, every time you take in nourishment, either through circumstance or actual food, it should be some sort of celebration. It should be something where it's like, oh, this is for me. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not like my inner fluffy girl, but I'm just like, when I eat, I have to feel that way. I don't need to eat. I really don't. It needs to be like, yeah, I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat. And the thing is that I've recognized for much of my life, I've allowed myself to have this like thing of, I don't eat to enjoy. I eat for the nutritional value. It doesn't have to be a celebration. It doesn't have to be plated. It just has to be cooked in a way where as much nutritional content is left intact. And it's like we need to have both. We need to have the nutrition within our circumstance and our connections, and we need to have the presentation. Okay? And I'm saying this to you looking fresh as fuck. It's the experience. How do you present it? It's not just the visual aesthetics of it. It's the experience. People value more if they can experience it in such a way that's elevated. Okay? I used to sell gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan truffles. These are handmade from scratch using cacao, fresh cacao. And they were not cheap. They were not cheap. And the people who would purchase them, they would continue to come back and purchase them because you could taste the love in it. And aside from tasting the love that's infused in it, your visual senses are bathed in this experience. It's an actual experience. So then I would have people who wouldn't understand that. They're just thinking about numbers, crunching numbers. And they're like, well, it's good, but it's expensive. It's not meant to be eaten every day. This is like a visual and sensory explosion. This is something to really treat yourself and feel the love of creation as you ingest it. This is not just some, I don't know, like a Kit Kat bar. I mean, you're not going to get it for $1 at the grocery store. No, this is something you're going to need to really set aside some time and experience. Y'all, I'd even include little tiny spoons. And someone once said, like, I understand now why the spoon is so tiny. I love it because it helps me to just savor every little morsel, not just gulp it all down. Because, I mean, I make them in like Tupperwares. I will eat that shit. It's like the size of a brick. I will eat half in one sitting and then I'll feel sick because I'm all sugared out. But instead of that, what I provide for the experience is just these delectable morsels, just little scoop. It's just so good. I'm telling you, I got chocolate. Oh my God, stop. Stop talking about chocolate. I'm sorry. Card number 36, listening for truth. Just hear the truth. Am I really talking about chocolate? Or am I talking about how you allow people to experience you? Are you just like, bottom barrel, you're on clearance, and they just having some sort of like, I don't know, I'm kind of snacky right now, just get whatever's cheap. Is that you? Or are you that $6 truffle that needs to be eaten with a little spoon very delicately? Like it's firm, but the moment it touches your mouth, it begins to melt and you begin to have this experience of like, oh my God, when can I have the next piece? No, I need to savor this. Like that's the kind of experience you should have with people. That's how they should experience you. We're little bits and like, ooh, damn, where's the spoon? I need more. I mean, am I teaching you how to get people addicted to you? I'm Piscean, maybe. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? Just apply it in life and see where it goes. Card number 28, sacrifice. What can you let go of? What are you holding on to? What are you allowing to hold on to you? What is it? What is seeking to tear you down, dragging you down further and further and further? What is it? Oh, say, can you see? Okay, I've never seen this card like this before. Okay, so I assume that this is like some sort of alien landscape. And the feeling that I'm kind of being given is kind of the opposite of what this card always just kind of puts in my face. So usually I would see this as something is trying to pull you down. It's probably parasitic. It's trying to just pull you down. And I never ever really pay attention to the background. So this can really be anything. But I see this, and in this moment, this is some sort of dust storm. It's like if you live in Arizona, that shit's a haboob. It's a haboob. And the haboob is coming. If you've never been stuck in a sandstorm, it's some fucked up shit. I had to drive through a haboob. It's literally a huge wall. Have y'all seen The Scorpion King? I don't know if it's in that movie or The Mummy, where there's this just huge wall of sand. It's literally like that. I was waiting for The Mummy to pop out. I was just like, lock the door, children. Lock the door, kids. There's going to be some metaphysical shit happening in this place. So now I'm kind of wondering, are the BlueRays who are here to affect change, are y'all being pulled down to kind of shelter you from this haboob that's coming? I mean, is, you know, it's kind of like, are you being pulled down to protect you? That's almost a feeling that I get. Like whatever parasitic attempt is being done right now, although their intent is probably malicious, it almost will even cause you to be further protected. Remember, this is the very beginning, right? And I 100% believe this. What some do for evil, the light allows for good. I really 100% believe this. Because this is how my life has always been modeled. The more someone tries to try and harm me, the more I become withdrawn into myself. And what ends up happening is eventually I'm hidden away so deeply, nothing touches me. I mean, why am I on a fucking mountain in the middle of nowhere? I don't feel the need to hide, but clearly I'm hidden away. I'm hidden away. You ain't gonna find me at the mall. So there's just something really, really, I don't know what to make. I don't know what to make of it. See, look. Look at how these look. I'm starting to shake. Do you see how that plays out? So this is you recognizing there's stuff starting to swarm around you. This is something trying to enter your field. Swarming, swarming, swarming. You can feel this. Many of you are empaths and you can feel this. You can absolutely feel different energies approach or attempt to enter. And this is you being pulled down deeper into yourself. And in that, you are able to just sit in stillness, quiet, solitude, and able to hear the messages from soul. You have to listen for that truth. Listen for that truth, okay? Oh, I really, like, I'm getting it. I'm not. Reveal your gifts. Reveal your gifts. So, me interpreting this card, part of what caused me to actually reveal my gifts was such a massive attempt to attack me. Massive attempt to attack me, because I was very content with just letting people believe that I'm just some random kawaii girl. Oh, they learned, didn't they? They thought I was just kawaii. Yeah. No, you're going to really reveal your gifts because of whatever challenges are approaching. These are some pretty significant challenges. I mean, she's bleeding out. She's bleeding out that Christ consciousness. What would cut you that deep? So that's clearly not blunt force trauma. That's a penetrating wound. Oh my God. Motherfucker. I wish a motherfucker would. I wish a motherfucker would. Okay, that's it. That's the story. That's the story. Here we go. While you were distracted with something else, this motherfucker stopped your ass. I mean, burp, burp, burp. Yeah, that looks like it fits. That looks like it fits. While you were turned looking somewhere else, while you were blinding yourself with some faux spirituality, you can be mad at me if you want, but the fact still remains. About 90-something% of what's peddled as spirituality this day and age are nothing but bastardized snippets stolen from esoteric texts. If you really want to know the truth of what you're learning. I mean, go to a lot of the Vedic texts. I'm just saying. The Nag Hammadi. Oh my God. It's Dead Sea Scrolls. Go to sacredtext.com. I'm just saying. You can get all of that for free. Just saying. There is some shit. You're being distracted. You're being distracted. He's even telling you where to look. Look over there. Okay, sure. Don't listen to people. Don't listen to people's shit. Don't even listen to me. Listen to your higher self. Is your higher self speaking through me? If it's not, disregard everything I say. I really don't need to be right. I really don't need to be listened to. If it's not resonating with you hella thick in your chest, it's probably not for you. You don't got anything to worry about. There's no one hunting you. I love this. Card number 23, Panacea. There's a solution for every problem. I wonder if the solution is to cut yourself free from that density. That density is leading to your demise. I see this and it's like, maybe it's just that I'm reading too much into it. The leg that has a serpent wrapped around it, that looks like it's a whole different color than this leg that's been tied. You've lost your flow. Truth is no longer circulating through all of you. The part of you that's become attached to the density of whatever you've been taught, whatever you've been taught to believe about yourself, about other people, about the world at large, it's cutting off your circulation. It really, really is. And that's kind of how creation is designed. We're in an inverted matrix right now. The things that we believe to connect us to our divinity, actually, it's flipped, it's inverted. So the flower of life is actually the daisy of death. That golden spiral, the golden ratio Fibonacci sequence, it actually is supposed to go the other way. It's the Christic spiral. If you allow yourself to really, really look into the depths of the things that you're hearing random people talk about, you'll begin to see quite a bit of truth has been actually hidden from you. And not hidden as in like hidden away in a vault and you'll never access it. I'm talking about hidden in plain sight. It's right in front of you. There's not much information that can stay hidden away when we're in the age of technology. There's not much. I mean, you just have to know what term to search for. Just one little word. One little word. And maybe that's why you come to my live streams, because you're waiting to hear that one little word that resonates so deeply within you. And that's what's going to lead you to your rabbit hole. Really, there's a lot of things that you need to learn about yourself in the world. I'm not the one to teach you that. I'm the one to just share my opinions. And hopefully in that sharing of opinions, you become inspired to do your own research. I used to say, like, some of the most beautiful things happen when people try to prove me wrong, because I have no desire to be right. I'm just sharing my opinion. And in your attempt to try and prove me wrong, you uncover so much information for yourself. This has happened time and time and time again, and I love it. They're like, oh my God, I totally thought you were full of shit. And so I started looking around the internet and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, that's amazing. Okay, I gotta go. Card number 5. Be still. Just be still. Let your power be blown around you. Be still and allow yourself to really, really take in the gravity of your truth. You are much more powerful than you ever let on. I know, right? I feel like such a hypocrite. You are much more powerful than you ever let on. I'm just saying. It's fine. It's fine. It takes time. Sorry, guys. It takes time to get accustomed to accepting your truth at face value. It's not really something you have to explain and try and get people to accept, try and get people to understand. There's nothing that anyone else's understanding can give you if you're not willing to understand yourself. If you close yourself off to your own truth, you'll never truly understand the parts of you that you need to understand in that moment. And the parts that need to be understood are different at any given moment. What I needed to understand about myself last month is not the same thing that I need to understand about myself right now. Right now, there's other things that my soul is presenting me that need my attention. What I learned last month might not even apply to right here today. It doesn't make it any less valuable. The point of what I'm saying is allow yourself to be fully present. Allow yourself to continue to pick up all the pieces that your soul brings to you, so that when you get a moment, when you begin to pull back and have that stillness within yourself, you'll have all of these pieces to look at. And at some point, you will come across a piece that will just make everything click into place. Have you ever put a puzzle together as a child? Because if you have, you know that you're kind of just like, this is bullshit. This is just bullshit. This is bullshit. Until you get that one piece that makes everything else make sense. It just makes everything else make sense. And then next thing you know, the puzzle's half done. That's how life works too. Just because you don't understand the value of that puzzle piece does not mean you discard it. How many of you, when you were children, owned puzzles and you found a piece laying on the floor and you decided to throw it away? And then next thing you know, when you get that puzzle back out, shit, it's missing a piece. That's how life is too. Card number 36, worlds within worlds. That's what they're doing. That's what they're fucking doing. They're looking for Lux. This is his story. He's been hidden away and they're looking for him. They're looking. All right. There's a being made of light and it was vilified at the start, at the very, very start. It was vilified. It bleeds light. Bleeds light. It was pulled down into the abyss. He's listening though. Okay. That's a different message for a different time. So, for whoever needed to hear this being of light contained within the mother's womb, there are those who seek to find it, and they will stop at nothing to locate it. Okay? So it's at this point that we as individuals need to allow our hearts to activate, especially those who are of a higher octave. Octave meaning a higher harmonic universe. This is where you're anchored. This little fella needs to stay hidden. That's what this is. He was hidden away, protected by his brother. The cloaking was dissolved. Something dissolved it. I'm assuming the higher frequencies now being hosted on this earth plane allowed for the dissolution of this. Hunting, tracking. Something's watching, tracking to see where it goes. It was pulled down deep, very, very deep, confined, wrapped. One leg wrapped by a serpent, the other tied to density. This is a really specific message. I don't think all of us need to hear this. I'm going to just leave that where it is. There's some shit that's just been initiated. It's been started. It's been started. I assume this is the sibling. The sibling is coming. You shouldn't fuck with that one. Because then the other sibling is a savage. This one is a fucking savage. For real. Okay, let me just leave that message alone. Okay, cosmic connection. Wow. First, I see a bear, like a mama bear. This is like some sort of cave bear, fucking huge. Huge. Some of the readings that I've done of texts regarding like anthropology and things like that, there were ancient cultures that are theorized to have worshipped cave bears. Okay. These would be like Neanderthal. So this is like the protective spirit of the humans before they became hybridized, excessively hybridized. And then I see what looks almost like a chalice being held within a person. These are their arms. This is their, like they're wearing some sort of cape or a hood or something. That's the neck. There's a chalice contained within. I see a figure within there. In addition to that, this then becomes a phoenix priming for the rise. This is a higher consciousness entering this earth plane. Whether it's malignant or not, I do not know. I do not know. Because if we go back to this, the green, and then the green mirrored here, you know, this like this also looks like an ant. Is this a queen ant? Is this a hive mind? Is this draconian? I don't know. I don't know. Blu-rays, there's some real fuckery going on right now. Real fuckery, because these messages are getting real fucking deep. Real deep. Okay. Moving right along. Maybe please rise back up to surface level. It's a little too deep to be talking about. All right. Here we go. This whole deck feels like... I don't know if you guys know who this story is about. And quite frankly, I don't feel the general public is ready to hear my views on this specific story. So I'll leave it as an anonymous being. At one point, this being was home. It was very comfortable. In its childhood, it was very comfortable, and it was protected, and it was loved. And something happened to create such sadness. And from that sadness came transformation, came growth. Through those tears, oceans were made to further hide it in the mother's womb. And now it comes back up to let people know it was played like an instrument. What it thought was free dance was not. It was not free will. It was a choreographed event, forever hidden away behind two moons. Did the Earth used to have two moons? Is there any information on that? Did at some point the Earth have two moons? Let's see. No. I'm not asking if the Earth had two Manolos. Please. Okay. I'm sorry, what? Okay. These have been called second moons of Earth. 469219 Kamo'aloea, an asteroid discovered on 27 April 2016, is possibly the most stable quasi-satellite of Earth. What is the name of Earth's second moon? Scrutiny? 3753, so 469219. For the self receiving divinity, guided to the singularity of divinity. 3753. 3 is a solid foundation from which to complete a cycle in order to change the foundation from which creation was built. These are some fucking specific ass messages. NationalGeographic.com. Earth had 2 moons. New model suggests. 8/4/2011. Okay. Earth may have once had 2 moons, but one was destroyed in a slow motion something something. This has to do with Atlantis and Lemuria when they were at war. February 20th, January 20th, when the Earth had 2 moons, a review, a smashing solar system. Scientists say Earth has 2 moons. Some fucked up shit. Okay. My head hurts now. Let me leave that alone. Let me leave that alone. Card number 59, Starfish Spirit. Open to infinite possibilities. Which is fascinating that the starfish would represent this because, you know, in order to be open to possibilities, endless possibilities at that, you have to not cling to anything. And what do starfish do? They're clingers. They cling. They cling at the shallows. They don't even go into the depths. They stay at the shallows. That's such a juxtaposition of words and vision. I swear. Let's see. Scarab beetle. Magic works through you. Okay. Well, I do stand corrected then. So I see these 2 cards, right? First, I was like, this is a bullshit card because they're clingers. And then this tells me, you know, magic works through you, the scarab beetle. And I then begin to think about it. Oh, okay. Starfish are filter feeders. They filter that in, right? So they don't have to exist in the depths. The depth eventually rises to the surface, at which point they become one with it. So it really doesn't matter where you're anchored within your time-space. If you allow yourself to just be fully present, eventually the energies from deep in your depths, they come up, they cycle back up before they go back down, cycle back up before they go back down. So you just have to be fully present. Card number 51, Sandpiper Spirit. Be playful. Where do sandpipers live? Do they live in murky waters? Let's see. Natural habitat of sandpipers. It's a migrator. Upland areas along rivers, ponds, or lakes. Okay, but I need a visual. What does it look like? Okay. So, not super murky. Delta type water. Kind of grimy, not too much. Yeah, that shit's brown. Okay, I saw lotus. Lotus thrives in the mud. Okay, so it's almost like let go of this preconceived notion that really the only way for you to, and I just saw this, level up is by existing in pristine waters. I mean, you could have pristine waters if you go ahead and bleach everything in your environment. You want to do that? You won't have any mildew. You won't have any of that dirty looking water because really, eventually the dirt settles to the bottom. And if you put enough bleach, it kills everything. No mold, no algae, no none of that will grow. Is that how you grow? If you go over to like a delta or a swamp, a lot of people like, oh my God, it really, really stinks. Really? Like, I mean, I don't enjoy the smell, but I don't categorize it as stinky either. I smell that and I think, this place is rich with life. All kind of shit lives here. Lots of things dying, feeding off each other. This is just a fucked up place. That's how I see it, but it is still full of life, is it not? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What time is it? Okay. I'm going to have to get going in a little bit because we have some medicines to administer. Hold on. I got to pull 2 cards from here and 1 from the other deck. And then we're done. And then I'll be done freaking you out. I don't really mean to do that. Just shit comes up and I just talk about it. And then I realize after the fact, oh shit, I probably scared you. Like, to me, it's not scary though. That's why it's no big deal. Like, oh, something's hunting me. Okay, we'll get in line. You're not the only one. It's horrible to say, huh? It's the truth. Don't worry. It's the truth. Nervous laughter. Nervous laughter. That made Michael laugh. You like my nervous laughter. Card number 11, Pluto, transformation. People living deeply have no fear of death. That's why he's fucking... I mean, why be afraid of death? Like, literally, why? It's the only thing that's guaranteed in life. You think your love is guaranteed? You think someone, because they say they love you forever, that means they're going to always be around and always love you? People change. People grow. And if they change enough, the person they were when they said that to you and promised all those things, they're a different person now. Those promises, those thoughts, those feelings, they're gone. And this is not me being pessimistic. This is me being real and being honest with myself about other people's place in my life. So long as you choose to be around me, I will celebrate you. I'll love you. And the moment you choose to no longer be around me, I'll still love you. Just from afar. No biggie. You're very much free to be who you are and grow in the ways you need to grow. Now, with that, you have to recognize not everyone can reach the depths that you go to. And sometimes the person you love goes far too deep for you to be able to connect. And that's something you have to just lose the fear of that. Stop being afraid of things you can't stop being afraid of the things you can't control or guarantee. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't force someone to remain the same. That's not love. That's ownership. That's bondage. That's not love. So, Pluto, the smallest and outermost planet in our solar system, probably carries the most weight. It's a planet of extremes. Pluto is a god of the underworld. His earlier name, Hades, came to designate the dwelling place for the dead. Hades means the unseen and is a good description of the energies of Pluto, which tend to transform areas of the astrological chart without us knowing until the explosion or blowout. There's going to be some sort of explosion or blowout. It's just, it's just one of those things. There's going to be a huge... Okay, what did I just read? In traditional astrology, Pluto is a higher octave of Mars. Okay. Pluto is the higher octave of Mars, but has some similarities to Saturn, which is also a force of oppression. Pluto governs renewal and birth. It brings to the surface things that have been hidden or are felt deep inside. These are sometimes painful to confront, or they are embarrassing or taboo. Let's see. This dwarf planet tends to inspire unwelcome surprises. Oh, look at there. Pluto can be like a tower collapsing in your life. I think when they do chemtrail spraying, they should really add some CBD to that. Because, like, I think everyone just needs some CBD in their life. BlueRays, y'all, just. I think I reached a point in this reading where, like, So, Pluto can be like a tower collapsing in your life. A life from which you must rebuild from debris and also inspiration. Many things you've relied upon for always being there may suddenly disappear or leave. More than anything else, Pluto represents endings and beginnings. Mm-hmm. You do gotta get some of this CBD. It's from Durango Botanicals. I think I gotta pick some more. I gotta pick some more up. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. Transformation, endings, beginnings, new ways, the end of the old, and intensity. This is a message for all Blu-rays, okay? All of those who have become aware enough that they need to hear this message. And if you are going to get that CBD, put in Emmie Evolving for the code. And I think you get something like 15% off. And I think also free shipping. I don't know. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. Card number 9. I was going to say your anus. It's Uranus. Uranus, genius. The public is wonderfully tolerant. It forgives everything except genius. Humanity will never forgive you for being different. So stop waiting for their forgiveness. You never needed their permission. You never needed their pardon. Just exist. The fact that you're here means you have a right to be. Okay? The sudden bolt of a surprise that causes chaos. Uranus, the great awakener, is here to wake you up. According to myth, out of chaos emerged 2 expressions of deities, Gaia, the Earth Mother, and Uranus, the Father Sky. Do you guys ever hear me talk about energy as octaves? Or is today the only time I've spoken about, do you remember, me using the term octave? Because I don't think I normally use the term octave. So tell me why that keeps standing out. Octave, octave. As a higher octave of Mercury. So we have the higher octave of Mars. The higher octave of Mercury. Mercury, I don't know, kind of having to do with genius. It's the planet of not only genius, but also intuition, which arrives in sudden flashes, just like lightning. Uranus is a revolutionary planet, opening up channels to the higher mind and bringing about necessary changes which can no longer be resisted. Bringing up channels to the higher mind. Everything we've been taught by religion is a lie. This being right here has been vilified for a very long time. very, 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 very long time. So with that, let me leave that topic alone. Okay. Uranus is not really personal, and its viewpoint is one that is detached and unemotional. It symbolizes the one who doesn't really need a partner, but is a friend and soulmate to everyone. I like that. I like that. Those under the influence of Uranus are objective, just enough to derive reliable insight into other people's motivations. It's time for you to really, really begin to seek out your own personal understanding of other people's motivation. Why do they want to be a part of your life? Why do they want to be part of your journey? These are very, very, very crucial questions to ask yourself. Honestly, if you were to ask them point blank, the people who probably have no business being in your life, they'll give you the perfect answer. Yeah. I don't know. So let's see. When this card comes up in a reading, there will be jolts and surprises in regards to your question or focus. It's the upstart planet. There won't be any smooth ride here. Excuse me. You can anticipate matters to turn rather eccentric, if not shocking, and not in the way you expected. I like that because part of me is a pessimist. I expect everything to fail. So you can anticipate matters to turn rather eccentric, if not shocking, and not in the way you expected. So I expected a lot of struggle. I expected a lot of like bordering that suffering line. I expected a lot of confusion, refusal to comply with your own soul. That tells me you're going to prove me wrong. Oh, these lovely messages for the past few days. Uranus card in brief. Let's see. Rapid changes, shocks, jolts, sudden transformations, the unexpected. Oh, revolution. Government overthrows, rebellion, bucking against authority, turbulence, an upset in the usual patterns. Relocation. Pack up the boxes, kids. We're moving again. This is some fucked up shit. Let's see. Novelty. Taboo. Going against the status quo. Counterculture. Alienation from your peer group. Estrangement. Alternative lifestyles. I think we've heard enough. I feel like we've heard enough. We know where that's going. If you don't know where that's going, consider yourself lucky. For real. No joke. Minimal sarcasm. No sarcasm. All seriousness. Really consider yourself lucky because a lot of people who do recognize what this message is and how this message continues to repeat in all the fucking readings for the past how many days, y'all know where it's headed. Okay? Y'all know where it's headed. It's perfectly fine. Let's get our final card. Let's make it a Kiki card. She tends to have lovely messages. Where's my Kiki cards? Here it is. Don't you try and hide my goddess. Here we go. Kiki, don't let me down. Give me something like savory like sakura. Delicate fragrance. Yeah, like make this information that feels like laying in a bed of sakura petals. Sakura. I know. I didn't need to say it that way. I just like to. All right, one more shuffle. I'm sorry, I'm not. No. Nope. I don't want to pull any more cards. No. We've traumatized people enough today. Seriously, let them have a nice little message from Kuan Yin. She likes to deliver messages in a really beautiful, graceful way. I knew it. Okay, so, oh, you need the truth. Well, here you go. um, the card that popped out was card number 33, 10 Sisters of Light. I was totally like, no, we need to feel supported. We need to feel like we got each other's backs. That's what this card is about. The card that kept popping up in my head, and I did not want it to come out, was the card that the book opened to. Fucking A. Okay, here we go. 12 Gates of Heaven. I don't know where the card is because I didn't pull it. Michael says to say intentionally. He wanted me to shuffle it one more time. And I said no. So, 12 Gates of Heaven. All beings have an ultimate spiritual destiny of happiness and freedom. Beloved Kuan Yin shines tireless compassion upon all life to this end. Yet sometimes attachments, lower vibrational beings, entities, and elementals become frightened of divine love and believe they will do better to hide in human energy fields instead. This blocks progress towards liberation, where human beings and lower vibrational beings can pass through the gates of heaven into peace, bliss, and homecoming to the spiritual source of all life. Sometimes we need to help beings find their way to the light. They can get attached to earthly energies, people, places, or things, like trying to enter a forbidden city. They attempt to reside where they should not, within the light of the human energy field, rather than progressing spiritually on their own journey through the gates of heaven into a higher consciousness of bliss. Sometimes this happens because although the journey can occur to the consciousness of the lower vibrational being, it doesn't seem possible. Of all the fucking cards, this deck only has one card that talks about parasitic shit. It would be this card. Moving right along to my fluffier message. Y'all wanted the truth. There you go. I didn't want to read that card to you guys. I'm telling you. A lot of people can't handle some of the shit that comes out my mouth. I'm just saying, let's just go back to this like sorority house right here. 10 Sisters of Light. You are an advanced soul and have lived many incarnations, shown your light through many different faces. Your soul has learned many skills in past lives, developed abilities and talents. This lifetime is a culminating lifetime in the sense that your soul is drawing together potencies developed over many lifetimes into unified expression. It's like drawing on the power of 10 sisters or more into your one current life. Be prepared to grow and shine. The higher self likes to integrate the wisdom it's gleaned over many experiences and lifetimes so that nothing is lost and all is enhanced. You are in a process of spiritual weaving and integration at a soul level now. This means that skills and abilities that you hardly recognize consciously will become more obvious to you. You may find that you know things from different traditions that you have no recollection of ever learning. You may feel strangely drawn to start studying different healing arts or martial arts, for example, only to find that it's somehow familiar to your heart. Be patient, open, and trusting of this journey. It is an intense time of spiritual growth, as in the integration there is also shedding of old issues or pain that no longer serves you. It's good to let this go. You're being asked to encourage the activation of past life abilities in your current lifetime by letting go of past pain and issues. So this is like, for me, the message that I'm kind of parsing from this is that whatever blockages that have developed through lifetimes of miscommunication between you and other souls, it's playing out in this lifetime. This is the ultimate time for you to begin really dissolving the miasmic distortions that have formed because of the pain of miscommunication from previous lives. So, how does this tie in? At the beginning, we spoke about mergers. We spoke about twin connections. We spoke about quite a bit of different things. It ties into that. If you don't allow yourself to kind of begin exploring all these different memories, these little tidbits that keep coming back to you. And I wouldn't be surprised if the tidbits that come back to you are distorted memories of previous life connections. I really wouldn't be surprised. This came up in the Piscean reading this morning. This really, really talented, very talented hypnotist. His name is Ali. He runs hypnomethod.com. Ali Abdelaziz. Abdelaziz. Ali, okay? His name is Ali. Okay. So if you cannot do the work by yourself, you need to ask someone to help you. I don't recommend very many people. I really, really don't. I have to experience you in a way where I feel your integrity. I feel that from him. Okay. He's the only person, only hypnotist that I will ever go to. I can tell you that right now because I don't trust people. You're not going to be digging around my fucking mind. I'm sorry that's not happening, but he was able to. So with that, it has a lot to do with really, really resolving all of these unresolved issues that you have with your counterpart. I'm not talking about the person you identified because you guys were in a relationship and you really, really wanted to be together and it worked out, but then they decided, no, they have to go back to their girlfriend or wife. I'm just saying, I'm not talking about that person, okay? I'm talking about a real, actual twin ray connection. What do you want me to spell? Oh, Ali Abdelaziz. Un momento, por favor. Un momento. Ali okay. Sorry. Abdelaziz. No. That's an actor. An Egyptian mixed martial arts manager and promoter. Well, hello. Dominance MMA. Okay. What the fuck? That's not him. That is really, no. That's not him. No. Hold on. Hypno method. Why do you keep bringing up this MMA fighter? Stop. It's hypnomethod.com. Hypnomethod.com. Yes. Like I didn't really want to talk about anyone today, but he keeps popping up. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. These are some of the different things that he offers. Hypnomethod.com. There you go. But yeah. Oh, I don't know. Just go away. So yeah, we need to begin reintegrating these parts that have been fractured from us. I'm not talking about someone outside of you. I'm talking about what's happened, the trauma that you've endured in previous lives. It's going to resurface. And if you don't address it face on, head on, if you don't face it head on, there stands a very real chance that you're going to play yourself. Where's the card? Remember what happened here. What happened here? You refused to face it head on, and it was able to injure you grievously. I mean, that's not a fatal wound. That's not a fatal wound, but that's a pretty fucked up wound. I'm telling you, you probably won't regain the function of that arm. I mean, there's a lot of nerves and shit up in there. I wonder how deep that went. I don't know. I think if you could sever. Okay, dude, we really need to do medication. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go play nurse right now. I gotta go play caregiver. Okay, don't judge me. I gotta keep him alive. Here we go, guys. Let yourself process whatever you need to process. Allow yourself to be open and receptive to whatever connections that your soul wants you to have. Do not try and assume you know what this connection is. Because I know quite a few of us are probably like, oh my God, it has to do with a twin. Oh my God, it has to do with a twin. And for all you know, it could be your sibling. For all you know, it could be some girl you worked with 10 years ago. Don't bring none of them back. Actually, no, I haven't worked in 10 years. I haven't worked for well over 10 years. Yeah. Just be open. Be open. And when I say be open, I'm not talking about being open to being breached. Open your eyes. Allow yourself to truly see. It's okay if you feel afraid. Don't close your eyes because you feel afraid. It's the worst thing you could possibly do. So, I'll share this story before I go. One last story. We were living in this like bougie neighborhood not too long ago. We were in some bougie neighborhood, and my oldest and my nephew, they're both grown-ass men. They went to the clubhouse, which was not far. And they went to go work out at like midnight or something like that, like really late at night. And then they came back and they looked like they were in a huff. And what ended up happening was they felt something following them. Okay? They felt something following them. And one of the boys, my son, he was like, don't look, just run. And my nephew, who he's more like me in his logic when it comes to detecting potential aggressors. I'm not going to run. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to look at you. I need to know what you're going to do. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to look you in your eyes and be like, what the fuck are you planning? You have to have that mindset. Just because I'm going to turn around and look at you doesn't mean I don't feel some kind of anxiety, possibly fear. But I need to know what you're going to do in order for me to begin calculating how I'm going to negate that. That's how you have to live your spiritual journey. You have to be able to face things, even with fear present. None of that matters. There was no rule that was created that says you have to be fearless and have no fear. There's no rule like that. You can be really, really afraid and like pee on yourself and still face your fear. You can still face it head on. And that's probably the most powerful decision you will ever make, where you can just face it head on. Am I saying that I do that for everything in my life? No. No, I don't. And just because I don't do that for everything in my life, does that mean I lose the potency of that truth? No. I told you guys, I have problems with avoidance. But if you're an actual aggressor, you're threatening my safety, physical, emotional, spiritual, I'm going to face you. I need to know what I need to do. Because, I mean, how am I going to know that I need to move to the left because you're trying to hit me? You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't think so. I would rather see it coming than be blindsided. So, handle it. Just handle it, okay? Like I said, I gotta go play nurse. I gotta go play nurse. I love you guys. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll be live again tomorrow. Bye, guys.